Good morning. Welcome to the Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living Wednesday morning inspiration service. I'm Reverend Gregory Toole, and what a pleasure it is to be here with all of you and all of you online as well. Let's turn within for prayer for a moment here. And so let us know together that one presence, that one infinite intelligence, infinite mind, that one life, that one whole, perfect, complete presence of love and wholeness and harmony. And then let us remember that that one indwells each one of us. That one is the very life of our life. In fact, and in truth, we are each unique emanations and unique individualizations of that one life that is divine, that is good, that is God. And so it is in this awareness of whom is gathering here this morning that all this is God meeting God, meeting God. Love, meeting love, meeting love. And so we come together in this divine tapestry, this divine, beautiful unfolding. And we know that something good, something wonderful, something amazing is unfolding here today. And it is each one of us and the dance that we're doing. And so I just bless this time together. I know it is so perfect. I am grateful, deeply grateful, and I release this word. I let it be, and so it is. Amen. So let me share a few announcements with you all. Again, I'm Reverend Gregory Toole, and what a joy it is to come together on Wednesday mornings and feel all of the energy of the people who come in to the space. You all bless our space by coming here on Wednesday mornings, and those that come online, you bless our space as well. So let's make sure to silence our phones. That way we won't have any of those technological interruptions. And today at 7 p.m., we have ecstatic dance. So you can get out there and move your body freely without any judgment, without any restriction, so that you can be free. We can let go of anything that might burden us, anything that might need to move in us, that might need to move out or might need to move with. So join us tonight, 7 p.m. Ecstatic dance requires no experience. You can't do it right and you can't do it wrong because you're just doing you. Our spiritual retreat is getting closer and closer. Indigenous Peoples Day, Columbus Day weekend, October 9th to 12th. It'll be in Simi Valley at the American Jewish University. So we get to be together for 4 days and just hang out and listen to great music, experience great music, workshops, talks, fun activities. Families are welcome. They have payment plans. So get signed up today. Start making some payments. So when October comes, you will be part of the experience. I'm really looking forward to it personally. Our next author speaker series event will feature, it's this coming Friday, will feature Shelley Stockwell. It's at 6:30 p.m. this Friday in Richelieu Hall. She's an expert in self-hypnosis, and Shelley has written over 24 books on the topic. That's a lot of books, right? She is also the founder of the International Hypnosis Federation, and not only that, she's part of our RBCSL, our Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living community right here. Joyful Waves Choir will start practicing again next Tuesday. So the choir is back next Tuesday, July 14th at the regular time, which I believe is 6:30 p.m. Divine Dining, the party of the year, is coming up at the home of Claudia Krikorian and Jim Hale. This is one of those you don't want to miss kind of things, and that's what I was told when I first came aboard a couple years ago, and it turned out to be true. Amazing party, catered dinner, beverages, live music from across the decades, and all the proceeds go directly to the Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. So you will want to be there because it's going to be fantastic. This Saturday, Improv for the Soul, Natalia Jansen. She does a great job using improv to help with our unfolding. And so through gentle, fun improvisation exercises, we'll explore what wants to emerge in your life, tapping into your intuition, imagination, and inner joy. And if you haven't been to one of those, they're really fun and they're really connecting with each other. We really just have some joy together. The Women's Circle will meet this Sunday, but it'll be a slightly different one. It'll be a picnic up at Wilderness Park. I was just over there had my lunch over there yesterday. Wonderful little park. So bring a little picnic, and Elaine will have some games to play and snacks. So Women's Circle this Sunday at Wilderness Park, 12:30. And then also this Sunday at 12:30, so you have choices, a concert with our good friend Daniel Nahmod. And if you get tickets today, they'll just be $20, so do that. Or you can pay after today and it'll be $25. Either way, it'll be great. So Daniel Nahmod concert this coming Sunday. This coming Monday, there's a suicide prevention training that will take place here, but it's put on by Beach Cities Health District, and they always do a great job with the things that they do. And it'll be an informative afternoon. It's Monday at 4 p.m., this coming Monday, July 13th at 4 p.m. And maybe through taking the training, we might prevent someone from experiencing suicide. So it's a good awareness kind of thing, and all are invited. There's no cost for that. Death Cafe will be Saturday, July 18th at 2 p.m. in the foyer this time. It's going to be right out here in the foyer because we have something else going on in Richelieu Hall. And Death Cafe is just a great place to come and talk about a subject that we normally can't talk about. And so we can come in the room, just talk about what it is for us. Some people talk about things that they're experiencing with grief, but a lot of people just have the conversation about death and their thoughts on it. And it was well attended when I went, and really refreshing to have a subject like that be able to just be freely talked about without morbidity. And this Sunday, come get some ice cream in celebration of my 2-year anniversary with the center. It will have been 2 years. Wow. Yes, you can clap for that. Yes, come on. It's not 20 yet, but 2, it's a start. So we'll have ice cream, and there'll be regular dairy ice cream, but there'll also be vegan ice cream. How about that? So come get some ice cream, celebrate with me. This 2 years has been just awesome for me being here, and hopefully it has been for you as well. For more activity on any of this, out in the lobby, we've got flyers and, of course, our weekly e-newsletter as well. Big thank you to all of our wonderful volunteers. We appreciate you all so much. Let's give some love to our great volunteers here. Yes, yes. Our speaker today is the awesome Reverend Mary Morgan. Reverend Mary is such a clear communicator about the teaching, such a great teacher. We love having you here. Thank you, Reverend Mary. Before we get to Reverend Mary, we've got what are we going to call you? We have to come up with a name for you, because Carla put on an amazing concert on this past Sunday, as well as she was the special music for Sunday, and we were just rocking and rolling over there in Richelieu. The energy was just so high, and we get to hear her again this morning. Thank you, Carla Dominguez.
I see some of those faces here.
Every morning I wake up with the sun on my face. No illusion, no clouds, no obstacles stand in my way. I'm just so thankful to be alive this moment in day. There is no way I can lose when I decide to choose to live my best life gratefully. grateful until the sun and stars don't shine. I will be grateful as an example for mankind. I will be grateful. I don't think anyone will mind if I live my best life gratefully. Every morning I wake up with the sun on my face. I find my focus, I set my course, and I run this human race. I'm determined that I will either win or place. There is no way I can lose when I decide to choose to live my best life gratefully. I will be grateful until the sun and stars don't shine. I will be grateful as an example for mankind. I will be grateful. I don't think anyone will mind if I live my best life gratefully. I will be grateful until the stars and sun don't shine. I will be grateful as an example for mankind. I will be grateful. I don't think anyone will mind if I live my best life gratefully. If I live my best life, if I live my best life, if I live my best life gratefully.
What a treat. We get to hear Carla. I missed the concert on Sunday, but I heard it was, as I call it, a blessed blast. God bless you, who's ever sneezing. You're dusting off your brain, my grandfather used to say. Isn't that clever? I thought, okay, I guess I need some dusting. Okay. So today, my talk topic is called, I changed it, but it's actually choosing freedom. And I thought, I was thinking about it in terms of 4th of July. And, like all of our good 4th of July parties, it always involves food. Doesn't it? I mean, that's the whole thing. It surrounds around food. So I thought today it's about the food that we feed ourselves thought-wise and experience-wise. And a neat thing about this teaching is that it really encourages freedom. It says, you know what? There's all sorts of principles that are truth, and you'll hear different things, but whatever doesn't fit for you, it says let it go. So it's not like you have to believe this one thing and that thing only. No, it's all up to us. We get to choose. And that's the beauty of this teaching, that we get to choose our own path just by choosing the thoughts that we hear about, by different teachers, Ernest Holmes, but there's also ones that came before Ernest Holmes, the divine science people, the Emma Curtis Hopkins people, the Phineas Parkhurst Quimby people, all of them that say, you know what, whatever resonates with you, keep it and use it. And let it inspire you to create a new experience in your life, and whatever doesn't work, you can let it go, right? And it's always reminding us that we're a choice. We are always a choice to think about whatever it is. Freedom, I wrote this definition, is the ability to choose and make decisions according to your own preferences, your own ideas, your own beliefs, right? And if that's true, we get to look at, how am I living freely right now? And I don't know about you, but some of us have constraints in our life, and I have constraints in mine as well. We have things that hold us back, or things that we believe about ourselves just because we have this sense of limitation. But this teaching reminds us we can let that go. We can literally change the consciousness, change the paradigm or the way that we're thinking. And we forget sometimes that we are at choice. We get to choose. Oh, I don't have to believe in that any longer. Or like our lovely Dr. Frank Richelieu used to say, yesterday ended last night. And so anything that we took with us into the day, it doesn't have to be the truth today. So let's see. Each of us has a destiny and a purpose. I was writing on this that, if you think about it, what's the picture here? The picture is that each of us have a thing that we came here, a purpose that we came here to express. And it's not what we're doing. It's not what we do for a living. It's not any of that stuff. Viktor Frankl, who was a noted psychiatrist, he was a survivor of the Holocaust. And when he left the Holocaust, he had observed, by observing people in the concentration camp where he was at, that the folks that had the bigger and deeper sense of meaning in their life were the ones that were more likely to survive. He wrote the book, Man's Search for Meaning, and in it, he developed logotherapy, and logotherapy emphasized that the search for meaning was much more important than the search for pleasure or the search for any of that stuff, the search for meaning in life. And if you look at it, maybe we're all doing it. Whatever it is that we do, why do we do it? Why do we do what we do? Why are we the careers that we are? Why are we thinking or hanging out with the people that we hang out with or coming to a center? It's because it's a search. Oops. Oh, I always feel like the cowboys are running in with that one. Okay. She's sorry. It's okay. I thought God was calling for a second. I was going to hold on a minute. Okay. So he said that the book highlights, even in extreme circumstances, such as imprisonment, humans retain the freedom to choose and their attitude to respond to different events. Think about that, even when they're in a Holocaust setting where it was awful. Eleanor Roosevelt put it a different way, and she said, all the water in the world cannot drown you unless you let it in. And sometimes our thoughts are limiting, and we don't even realize that they're limiting, but we can release them at any moment. But what does it require? It requires that we think about it. It requires that we have a sense of reflection and go, where's my life going and what is happening? And if I don't like what's happening, what do I get to do to change it? What do I need to think about differently? And to that end, I have this little story. And it's a story about a little tadpole that was born, and he was born in the bottom of a well. He didn't know he was in the bottom of a well, though. And he was born inside a bucket in the well. And his whole life, that was his world. The curve of the bucket, the water below him, he would look up, and he'd see a little patch of sky, and he believed that that was the sky. That was what it was, and that these walls were his absolute reality. And you think about it, it kind of was his reality, wasn't it? He was living in a bucket. He didn't know he was in a bucket, but he was living in this confine. And then all of a sudden it began to rain. And little by little every day he was growing. And the bucket seemed smaller and smaller, but he was still in this setting that he believed was it for him. And as it rained, the water rose and rose and rose, and eventually the bucket got to the top of the well, and when he got to the top of the well, he hopped out, and he stepped in grass for the first time ever. And he saw how really expansive the sky was, and he thought, oh my gosh, all this time I thought that was my world. I had no idea all this other great stuff was going on out here. Well, it's the same as us. We get to say, okay, am I ready to jump out of the bucket? Am I ready to get to the top of the well and see what else is out there? I'm free to choose that, but what does it require? It requires new vision, doesn't it? It requires new thinking. It requires saying, you know what? The same old worked for a while, but I don't need that any longer. And I don't know about you, but and my challenges, when I look at them, I think, you know what? They're only there if I know them to be true. But is that the truth of my being? Absolutely not. So we can say, if I think something different, but it requires us asking the right question, because sometimes we ask the wrong question. Sometimes we say, what is it I can do right now? What can I do right now? And that can be helpful and instrumental. But the real question is, what would I love to do? Feel the difference? The moment you say, what would I love to do, all of a sudden the expansion opens up and you say, there's some other possibilities out there, some that you may not even realize, some that you may not even know. And I know in this teaching, I love that we have this beautiful phrase that says, God, you do it. And I always quote my dear friend, Reverend Martha, because she always would be like, oh, God, you do it. I did my prayer treatment, God, you do it. It's like, wait a minute, I got to get busy. I got to do these different things. I got to make it happen. No, you don't. And sometimes when we let go of the reins, when we let go and just say, I'm going to stay in this energy field of can do. And the moment that we do that, all the forces in the universe come in to support that and say, and all of a sudden ideas will come or people will contact you. You'll get phone calls from somewhere. You'll get an email from something. A workshop will open up that you're going, oh, I'm going to go to that and get inspired. Whatever it is, the moment that we declare that we're open and receptive to doing what we love to do rather than the limited idea of what we can do, right? Things will shift. We say in this teaching that God is the only power, but God can only do for us what it can do through us. And what that means is we have to free up the thinking, because that same thinking that kept us down here and limited is not the one that's going to bring us up here, right? Now the frog in the tadpole that turned into a frog that was in the bucket again, all of a sudden he got a new vista because the rain happened. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes we have situations that happen that really shift our wagon, right? Anybody else have anything that kind of shifted them and you go, holy smokes, this is a big deal. Well, guess what? There's a gift in that, because that gift shifts us out of that old paradigm thinking and says, think again, think again. Because remembering that everywhere that we go, it's always coming from us. It's coming from our thinking. So you get to go back to what am I feeding my soul with? What am I choosing to accept in my experience? The law of correspondence always says that as above, so below. And that means as above, so below, meaning whatever I'm thinking is going to create a physical reality. And if we don't like the way things are showing up, guess what? We get to think again. And sometimes that almost seems counterintuitive, because you're like, I wouldn't want this bad stuff to be happening to me, but I got some negative things happening. Guess what? Go in and clear out your thinking. And don't let the negative ideas perch themselves in your mind, because we are always in control of what it is that we choose to let in. And if you don't like a negative thought, just let it go. So the tadpole just reminds us that, guess what? We can climb out of the confines that we've created. We can climb out of the limited thought. We can embrace something very, very new. I want you to think about something. Right now, as you're sitting, we think we're just sitting in a chair and we're just quiet and we're right here in the sanctuary, right? Well, guess what? We are on a ball that is spinning 1,000 miles an hour right now, that's spinning 1,000 miles an hour. By the end of the day, they say that the Earth will have traveled over 67,000 miles. That's like from here to London, and that's in like 3 minutes, right? 67,000 miles you're traveling, and you're going at the speed of 1,000 miles. Oh, no wonder some of us feel dizzy, right? But think about it. We're actually spinning right now, and that's the truth. But you don't feel it, do you? So see, there's this whole other frequency of energy that's going on that we can dial into. Now, I don't want everybody to go walking out there like we've tied one on. It's that, guess what? Just pay attention to what we pay attention to. Pay attention to how we're thinking and where we're directing our thought, because that is literally going to prescribe the next moments for us. And it's as simple as rethinking. Let's see here. I wrote, the kingdom of God is right here, and we have to rise out of our fixed ideas and constructs of how we've perceived life. Isn't that interesting? Back to the frog again. The universe is always supporting us. What you're feeding your mind, your thoughts, are they limited or are they unlimited? You just get to ask yourself, what am I thinking today? And the moment you start thinking a limited thought, go, not a word of truth in that. I'm just going to let that one go. But sometimes, nobody in this room, of course, sometimes we like to marinate in those thoughts, don't we? We like to really stew in our juices. And then another thing, and we want to tell the story, right? We tell our story to everybody that will listen of all the stuff that's going on. And then another thing, and then she said this and da-da-da-da-da. And it's, guess what? No, you don't want to buy into that story. If you want to go the direction of upward and lightness and joy and understanding, what it requires is you have to let go of that old thing. And sometimes we get anchored in that, don't we? We get comfortable in that because that's home to us, right? I don't know about you, but I have some friends that really like to complain. And after about 2 minutes, I say, okay, now tell me something good. And they'll be like, well, I'm in such a pickle right now. How can I tell you anything good? It's like, because that's what it requires. Life requires that. And if you want to go anywhere different, you can't just spin your wheels right down here. And that's the difference. Ernest Holmes encourages us to remember, you are not what you do. You are who you are because of who you are made of. And you are one with the Spirit of God. Think about that. Remind yourself of that every day. I'm not, who I am is the Spirit of God expressing. How about looking at your neighbor? Who you are is the Spirit of God expressing. Okay, but now you got to convince the person maybe. You're the Spirit of God expressing. Think about that. So we have to think about what we're feeding our mind. Religious science encourages us to speak the truth that's in us, not to the condition that's telling you something different. And that's the rub, isn't it? You know, we can say all these positive things that we want to say, but if we have a sore thumb, or if we have a bank account that has a goose egg in it, or if we have a relationship that's really causing us a lot of trouble, it's easy to go, oh, yeah, I'm going to pour pink paint all over this, and it's only going to be about sweetness and light. No, guess what? You just say, thank you for the blessing. I get to wake myself up and pay attention. The other day, I went with neighbors and we walked up to this big parking lot and we could have a bird's eye view of the fireworks on 4th of July. And everybody parks in this parking lot that comes from a distance, and so they've probably been there for like 2 hours, and there's families and kids, and everybody's now, the fireworks weren't going off till 9 o'clock, so everybody's a little bit cranky. They're waiting for the fireworks, okay? And the kids especially, and everybody's blasting music, and Mom, I want to go home, and then. So my friends and I, my neighbors and I, we walk up to the railing, and we're in between two families. Now this family's over here, and you know, the two kids are fighting and da-da-da-da-da. And we look over here, and there's a mom and a dad and a little boy. And the little boy is screaming, and he's playing a Game Boy. And he's screaming and chortling and all this kind of stuff. And my neighbor was getting really annoyed. She was like, that boy is so loud. That boy is so loud. And it wasn't before long that we realized he was a special needs child, and he had autism. And I watched that mother. And I thought, oh my God, you know, the angels go before us, don't they? I thought, God bless that woman. She was so patient and so loving. I thought, boy, you have no idea how easy life could be for you and I when you watch a mom going through that struggle. And you know what? She was, okay, honey, and da-da-da-da, helping him out the whole time. And it was funny because my neighbor goes, yeah, and the husband was leaning against the car like this. She goes, look at that husband. He's not helping her at all. And I'm sure he heard her because turned around, he's like, oh, honey, let me help you. I'm like, oh, good. It was kind of until you got a little hat pin and stuck him. So it was like, get a wiggle on, buddy. So, but to watch this woman deal with her son in this kind way, when you or I would have been going, pulling our hair out maybe. I thought, oh my God, God bless you for showing me that, because we realize we don't know what people are going through. We have no idea of the things that people are going through. So it wakes us up to be loving, be compassionate to each other, be understanding to each other. Don't be judgmental if somebody's cranky or whatever they're going through, but just say, you know what, there is a different way, isn't there? And she was living it. You could tell she was, so sweet and kind to that boy, and holding him and letting him see the fireworks and chasing after him and saying, well, now, honey, keep it down because everybody's trying to watch the fireworks. And I thought, oh my goodness gracious. If we're cultivating a positive mindset, if we're practicing our spiritual principles and we're aligning ourselves, guess what? Everything is in alignment then. Everything is in alignment. We are always being asked to let go of the limiting thought and to wake up to the things that will really take us back. Now, I always write notes on my way here. It's only when I'm at the stoplight. But I wrote, again, pay attention that you have a choice to choose the ideas that are fulfilling. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I forget that. Say you get a call. I got a call from a cranky woman the other day, and she was a little off kilter and accusing us, the center in La Crescenta, of something. And I said, I think you have the wrong place. Do you have the wrong place? And she goes, no, I know where you are, and da-da-da, and I'm going to show up with the police on Sunday. And I started to go, oh, how come? Well, because of this. And I go, I think you've missed. And then I thought, Mary, you're just going to let go and let God. You are just going to bless this situation. But sometimes something can call us out and set us off our axis. And then all of a sudden, we had this beautiful, positive morning where we were thinking lovely things. And all of a sudden, we go right down to hell in a handbasket, right? You ever do that other than me? Anybody? Where all of a sudden somebody says something to you and it throws you off and you go, oh. And I go, no. I'm going to stay the course here. I'm absolutely going to stay in the belief that God and I are one. I am this divine spirit expressing, and all things for good are happening in my experience. And the moment I keep saying that and repeating it and letting it sink into my consciousness, it shifts, doesn't it? It shifts your energy. And we forget sometimes because we're on autopilot, and sometimes we're going to go that negative route, and you just pull yourself right back in. You just pull yourself right back in and say, what is my truth? I am not limited to anything that I am thinking that is in a negative fashion. So today I invite you to celebrate your triumphs. Celebrate the good choices that you've made. I'm hoping that every day you write something like at least 5 things that you're grateful for. Every day. Because what happens? Energy flows where your thought goes, right? When you're writing what you're grateful for, all of a sudden, your whole perspective changes to things that are working for your experience. Things that are working for your experience rather than, I don't know about you, but sometimes we ruminate about the things that haven't been working. And I should have said this, and why did that person, all that stuff. Let it go. Let it go. Just get yourself in that. And it's counterintuitive to what we're taught, right? People are like, you got to be confrontive. You got to deal with the things. You got to be direct and da-da. And there's a time and space for that. But technically, let it go and get into, how do I want to feel? What is the divine solution to this? Even if I don't know it, it's going to come in because I am open and receptive to it. And so when you put yourself in that energy field of being open and receptive to all the good in the universe, guess what? All the good in the universe is going to come into your experience. So celebrate today the triumphs that you've made, the choices that you've made, the good choices that you've made. And if things have got you in a pickle, think about them and say, how can I see a better way? How can I vision to think about something new and great? Let's see here, I wrote this. You know that you are renewed and guided by a power that is greater than you are each and every day. I write these things for myself, trust me. I type these out and go, oh, I'm going to read that again. I'm going to read that again. So there's peace at the root of your being. You didn't put it there. You were born with it. There's peace at the root of your being. You didn't put it there. You were born with it because we're each an expression of God. And so I'd like you to affirm with me, there is one power. That power is God. I am a divine expression of spirit. Now you have to look at your neighbor. You are a divine expression of spirit. I believe it. Do you believe it? I know that love follows me everywhere I go. Let's try it again. I know that love follows me everywhere I go. So look out, world, because here I come. All right, and so it is. All right, thank you. Okay, thanks so much. And now we are going to have our lovely Carla doing a song, another song for us. Oh, I'm going to sit over here. Oh.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Another one of those mornings when I try to talk myself out of bed. All my good intentions all rolling around in my head. And I say, get it in gear, honey. I don't wanna hear it. Get out the door. Put your feet on the floor and just show up. Take your time and just show up. Take your time. You don't always have to be the first one in line. Just show up, slow down, let it be easy. Just show up, yeah. Just show up. Might be as simple as just getting out of the way. Just show up. A sweet invitation to be willing every day. Just show up. Maybe I don't need to push so hard. One breath at a time, straight from the heart. Just show up. Take your time. You don't always have to be the first one in line. Just show up, slow down, let it be easy. Just show up. Come on. Just show up. You never know what can happen. You never know what might be. If I make room for a miracle to show up in me. Yeah. Ooh, show up. Yeah. Take it easy. Yeah. Show up. Show up.
Take it easy, baby.
Yeah. Just show up. Come on. And show up. Take your time. Don't always have to be the first one in line. Show up. Slow down. Let it be easy. Just show up. Show up like you're here today. You just gotta show up. Take it easy. Show up.
Put your feet on
show up.
La, 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 la. Thank you, Carla. We're going to just show up. We're going to choose freedom and show up. There you go. This is the time of the sharing of our gift. And so I invite you to take your gift in the palm of your hand and please affirm with me, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is. Are we going to sing Grateful or no? The other Grateful? Yeah, that's okay. Do we have grateful music? No. Okay. No, we don't do it on Wednesday. We do. We do. But that's okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing. Whoops. Okay. God is all there is. That God is all there is. Grateful for the morning, grateful for the light on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is. That God is all there is. God is all there is. Excellent. Yay. That was beautiful. Okay. Are you ready for a little guided meditation? We're going to do a little time travel into the forest. I love this little forest. The other day I found a picture that was very similar to what I used to vision. So I'm like, oh, okay, perfect. So I invite you all to just get comfortable in your chairs. And I want you to see your bare feet in your mind. And in your mind, look down at your feet and they're bare and they're happy. And all of a sudden you're walking through this beautiful meadow. And you're walking on this wonderfully moist and cushiony grass, walking through this meadow and seeing the flowers and the grasses and hearing the birdies. There's a little hummingbird. You see the butterflies moving, and the grass is just undulating in the wind, this gentle wind, and you look up at that blue sky with these perfectly puffy clouds and the sunlight bursting through it, and the temperature is ideal, and it is this wonderful experience. And slowly you're walking through this meadow, and you see a little brook to the side, and it has these perfect 5 stones. And you can step on each stone and you can feel the spray of the water against your feet, and it just feels delicious. It's so wondrous. And you get to the other side of this beautiful brook, and all of a sudden you look up and there's this enchanted forest in front of you, right there, with a perfect path going through it. And as you walk through this forest, you look up at the trees and they're all so tall and they're just blowing in the wind. You can smell the pine and hear the pine needles rustling in the trees. It's as though they're talking to each other and talking to you. You just feel at one with all of this life. You see the sunlight spilling through the trees. You look around and over there's a mama deer with her baby. There's some little chipmunks running up and down the tree. There's an owl in the tree. You look down at some of the leaves and there's a ladybug on the leaf. There's all kinds of life. This forest is just teeming with life. And you feel very at peace and very at one with everything that you're encountering. As you're walking on this beautiful, soft trail, and you move through to this clearing, this opening, and there is a perfect log that's carved out. It's a chair that's carved out of a log right there in the middle of this opening. And the opening has a surrounding of trees. And it's got a big opening. As you look up at the sky, you realize the openness, the pureness of the air. And you sit down. Just breathe in and take in this moment. It's as though you are in this private sanctuary of your own nature, right there. And over to the side, you see a light being coming towards you. And this light being walks up, and it's as though it is a very familiar energy. And she sits down with you. And there's just this wonderful feeling of peace. And without saying a word, you get the feeling that this being says, is there anything you would like to create in your experience? What is something that you would like to choose for yourself beyond what has appeared in your life right now? Is it perfect health? Is it divine relationship? Is it ideal prosperity? Is it just a sense of being and purpose? To have a deeper knowing of yourself, whatever it is, this being invites you to think about it. And in your mind, have a picture of what that looks like. And she invites you to reach out to her opened hands and take the picture from her hand and put it to your heart. So now you've got that picture in your heart. And she reminds you that we become what we think about. We become what we feel. We become where we focus and how we set our intention. And just stay with that for a moment and know that that vision is in your heart and that energy is in you. And we'll find a way to manifest. It's a power greater than you are, and just allow it to be. So you breathe in with this new sense of energy. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to call it a name. You just have to know. Remembering that there's nothing ever that we have to do. There's only something that we must know. And that's our absolute truth. And so you have this feeling, and you're reminded by this being that you came here to be on purpose, to live a life of meaning, to have great goodness and joy, to experience all the joy of life that life has to offer, and that you can let go at any moment of anything that has stopped or blocked you, because it all begins in your mind. And so you choose to see again. You choose to open up to this newness, to pay attention to what you pay attention to. to ask yourself, rather than what can I do, what would I love to do? And that feeling is in you now. And it will find a way to express. And so you make a promise to yourself and to this being, I am on board. I am seeing again. I am choosing to free myself from anything, any limitation, any limited view, any confines that I have created and accepted, and I let it be. Just breathe into that. And with that knowing, your being of light stands and reminds you that any time you can call on this being, which is really your highest self, thank this being. And as you stand to leave, you bid farewell, and you turn, and now you're on your path, walking through the path of this beautifully enchanted forest, where you see all these different fashions of life and all the little animals and critters and the trees. Put your hand on a tree right now and just feel that energy. And know that that energy is a shared power that you all have. And slowly you walk out of the forest, and here you are at that stream, stepping over these 5 stones, feeling that spray of the lovely water, and stepping into the meadow. And you take one last look around at the vastness of life with a grateful heart and a sense of appreciation for all the good in you and in the world. And slowly but slowly you make your way through the meadow, and you find yourself back in this room with your shoes back on your feet. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome back. Okay. Did you have fun? Yeah, that forest is quite a remarkable place, isn't it? Isn't it? Okay, so this is the time of prayer treatment. If anybody would like a prayer, if anybody has anything that they'd like treatment for, you can raise your paw, and Vincent will come with a microphone. Everybody's in this ideal mental state now, so we have liftoff now. Okay, well, how about if we just do a general one? Okay, all right, here we go.
Hi. I think I said last week, sometimes we should say thanks for things. We have 2 things to be thankful for this week. And then also a request for Bill. His balance has started to become an issue again, and we were enlightened to learn that the cerebellum is a part of the brain that has to do with balance. So when you think about a healing, I think about the cerebellum. We like to ask for healing for that. Okay. And then for strength in the body, for his legs to walk and all that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, perfect health. We're going to do perfect health. Pardon me? I did.
We have one online as well from Lynn. She wanted to say that your words were perfect for her today. Good. As she continues to heal and recover from foot surgery.
Okay.
She's glad she's able to view from home.
Oh, wonderful. Hi, Lynn. We're going to know. Yes, let's know for perfect health, okay? So as I take a deep breath in, I focus my awareness on one thing, and that is the power and the presence of Spirit right here, right now, in my experience, in my body, in my mind, in my spirit. I am knowing my oneness with that which created me, that I call God, that infinite intelligence, that divine mind that knows all things, that is all things. And that essence is my essence. The perfection of God, the perfect health of God, the divine clarity of God. That absolute knowing of the ideal body and the perfect recognition of health through every cell, every atom, every bone, every muscle, every aspect of my body, and the healing of my mind, the healing of my thoughts, as I embrace in the totality of understanding that I am the expression of God. And what God knows, I know. What God is, I am. And so I choose very particularly what I say after I am. I am the health of God. I am the knowingness of God. I am the awareness and the awakeness of God. Right here, right now. I let go of anything that might have been stopping or blocking me, and I keep my attention focused on the divine, perfect health in my body. As I breathe this in, I see every atom, every cell, every muscle, every organ, every bone, hearing this prayer, knowing this truth, realizing that there is a power that I use, I call it God, that moves through my experience, releasing and relieving anything that is unlike that truth. And so it's with a grateful heart that I accept this truth, that I know this power moves in me, guiding, protecting, directing every step of my way. And I accept it now. And as I speak these words, I know they're spoken into the law of mind, which obeys absolutely the words that I state. I let it be so. I accept this as my truth right here and right now. And together we affirm, and so it is. Okay. All righty. I think we do have liftoff, huh? Did you have your God bumps, Bill? Did you get God bumps out? Okay, that's our liftoff. All right, you guys, have a spectacular Wednesday. It's beautiful out there. It's going to be hotter than blazes up in Glendale, but it's not that hot right here. So enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, take care. Thank you.